potentially $910.
Did you take what?
Did you take your minutes?
No, no, I think they can afford it.
Yeah.
The hour is at hand, and I'll call the Gaines Township Board of Trustees monthly meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, review the minutes of the last meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept the December 2nd, 2015 meeting minutes as presented.
Your support. There's it here. Okay, what is it? It's on Mike Dollar's motion for Diane Harmon to be elected official. There was only 3 A's. Not 4. Diane did not vote. Anything else? Okay, looking for support.
I'll support.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. It's time for the audience comments. Give us your name and address and try to hold your comments to 3 minutes, please. See any hands?
Jerry Kadich, Elms Road, United States of America. My first question is on my tax bill. I'm curious to what the unit OP is and what the admin fee is.
The unit operating is what portion of your taxes goes to operate the township. And the administration fee is a 1% fee that's applied to all millages on the tax bill.
Is that standard with all townships in the state?
Yes.
Thank you, appreciate the clarification. Ed, could you bring me up that newspaper, please? My first question goes back to the previous 7 months where I've asked the same question, and that deals with the assessor pay once again, what validates the $19,000 increase in this gentleman's pay. Who is he? To anybody on the board? This needs to be answered in public, not in a closed-door meeting like you offered to do, Mr. Fortino, at the end of the November November meeting when you tried to berate me about it. Planning Commission, you wrote in here, is one of the items that the board needs to take a look at this year in getting caught up with the zoning ordinances, if I'm correct in that assumption. But what input does the board need to establish according to state law for the zoning ordinances? I thought it was part of the Planning Commission's job to come up with that, not the board's. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. And I'm taking this out of the Swartz Creek View. Your next comment, Mr. Fertino, was about addressing medical marijuana dispensary in the township. You for sure would know better than I if there's been any requests for that. But I think we need to leave that up to more knowledgeable members of government than what we have sitting in front of us. We don't need that in our township for revenue. I truly don't believe. Maybe we could allow it if it was strictly to help members of the township, people that are in need of a substance such as that, but not out of pure greed to put money into the coffers of the township. Then you went on to express in there that the township will have to invest some money in equipment for the fire department. Yes, by all means. That's the best program that I've heard you say anything about to do anything with the fire department. Those guys need the equipment to keep us all safe in this township. And to write a grant on it, as you stated, yes, but I hope somebody other than the chief writes that grant, although he's been to school to write grants. But he's got policing work to do, not work for the fire department to write grants for the fire department. There should be somebody within the fire department or on this board that can write that grant for that. That's a must. Then you went on to say that there's some money set aside, but you're unsure if it's enough to do anything in there. I'm guessing it's for the fire department. Money set aside, what account is that in? What's it set aside for? And how much money is it that you have set aside? I guess in a rainy day fund. New housing for fire equipment, you went on to say that is needed. I see the truck sitting outside the building. Yes, we need something for that. We need to keep that investment safe. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And I would like to suggest, and I'll do it if need be, there's still garage structures that can be purchased for a fraction of the cost of brick and mortar to have that installed so these vehicles are at least out of the weather. That's not give me the word and I'll get you cost on it.
You're coming up on your 3 minutes.
That's not a problem. And a 50-year rain you mentioned in this article. I must have slept through it. I'm sorry I missed the whole rain thing. But you did take care of some drainage issues that you mentioned about in the article. And that was for family and friends. Case in point, your friend at Reed and Seymour Road, drainage from her farm where you had the culvert put in, as well as you had that section of road paved too that really, that goes beyond explanation. And then you said that you hope that calm is kept this year. What exactly needs to be
Your
kept
3 minutes
calm
is
in
up.
your last statement? If you could answer that some point in time in the next 7 months. Thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Don't see any hands. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Building inspector's report. There's 7 permits issued, total billing of $1,164 worth of permits issued. Short and sweet. We have a report from the code enforcement person. Gilmer, do you have anything for us?
I prepared a number of things at Chief Schmitzer's request. I don't think any of them are before you tonight. I presume they'll be before you next month. There's some ordinances, a policy, et cetera. Other than that,
Policies before them tonight.
the policy, he says is before you tonight. So I prepared that and prepared some other things that will be coming before you shortly.
Okay.
Okay, Board of Appeals,
Board of Appeals will be meeting on January the 13th of this year at 7:30 p.m. Anyone would care to come down? We do not have anything on the agenda currently.
okay. Fire Board met Monday night, there was not a lot of things on the agenda.
No, yes, the fire board did meet Monday night. Only thing to report is December fire runs, there was 7. December medical runs, there was 17. So total fire runs for 2015 was 109, and total medical runs for 2015 was 205. There was no recommendations from the fire board except to pay the bills.
Okay. I don't know, there's a 35 increase for the year or something there. Okay, Planning Commission,
Yes, Planning Commission met last month, and we're starting back up again on master plan proceeding. And we've determined that we have started off, got the cart before the horse, but we're gonna start off pretty much where we stopped, and we've got to notify adjacent municipalities first before we move on. A little detail was forgot the last time. So the next meeting is the 24th of February at 7:30. December, January, February, yes.
okay. Police reports, Chief Smith, you want to do that, or?
In the month of December, there were 138 total incidents reported to the county 911 services. There were 122 in the township, 16 in the village. The Gaines Township Police Department responded to 71 of those. The remaining incidents were handled by the Michigan State Police, Sheriff's Department, and other local agencies. In addition, there were 8 citations issued, 15 warnings given, 61 property checks conducted. Year-to-date, there have been 1,773 total incidents in Gaines Township, compared to 1,317 for the same time last year. The Police Department transferred an AED from its 1033 program inventory to Lennon Police Department. The shipping and transport fee was reimbursed to Gaines Township by the Village of Lennon volunteers. LASO, the oversight, the government oversight unit has completed the transfer of the paperwork from Gaines Township to the Lennon Village, so it's no longer in our inventory, and we've had no cost involved with it.
Okay. Questions on that? Except the report. Treasurer's report, Diane distributed those. Take a look at it. I'll just note one line on her report, the fire depreciation line is a dedicated fund line you see there on her report. That's $267,723, and that is for equipment purchases. It's a dedicated amount, can't be used for anything else.
What line was that, Paul? I'm sorry.
Fire depreciation.
Fourth from the bottom,
Okay.
that's the one I was referring to in the newspaper article. Okay, treasurer's report, any other questions on the treasurer's report? Noted and accepted. Township communications, because of the holiday, there's not a lot going on. The Road Commission Advisory Board did not meet in December. Water and Waste had a breakfast instead of a regular meeting, and 911 Executive Board will meet next week, so there's really nothing to report on communications or any of those things. Other than that, I have been in contact with Mr. Lamonco over the review of the master plan, and that will be completed probably in 60 to 90 days, something like that.
Okay, that's good.
That's about it for me.
We can wrap that up, we can move on to zoning. Clean up the zoning issues.
Anything from the clerk?
Just a reminder that the presidential primary is coming up on March 8th. We've been busy ordering supplies and ordering ballots and stuff and getting ready for that. As you know, that's a primary, so you will have to choose which ballot you want, either Republican or Democrat. You can't have both ballots. Just a reminder on that. That's about it.
Nothing. All is moving along.
Tax collection going along?
Yep.
Okay, the next thing is the accounts payable. General checking, $27,404.05. Fire operating checking, $9,295.01. Police checking, $10,537.01. Waste and refuge, $26,552.50. Water and sewer checking, pumping stations, electric bill, that kind of stuff. $2,664.45. The usage charge for the quarter, $103,935.30. Road improvement, this is another payment on Oakwood Village paving project, $281,142.33. What's your pleasure on the bills?
Motion, we pay them as presented.
Or,
Any discussion on them as presented? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Bills stand approved.
We have to have a,
We have to roll call.
we have to have a roll.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I fell for it too, so.
Oh, yeah. We already thinking about something else.
Dollar,
Yes.
Herman,
yes.
Purdy,
Yes.
Timmons,
Yes.
Fortino.
Yes. Sorry about that. Okay, we've got a couple, I guess, housekeeping things to take care of here. Special assessment, additions and deletions. Whoever wants to explain this or whatever.
Yes, on the special assessment roll, we have, we did some lawn mowing for a code enforcement issue at 7373 Nichols Road, and we need to add that to their winter tax bill. That was $120. And also, there was a parcel in the Village of Gaines at 206 Lower Street that has garbage pickup on it, and it's a vacant lot. So that $138 needs to be removed from that parcel number.
So, one addition, one deletion.
Junk is dealt with separately or together? How we separate them?
Yeah, either that or it can be separate inside a motion, I suppose. Either way, it don't matter, but they needed to be noted separately. Why don't you just do a motion on each, somebody?
I'll make the motion that we add $120 to parcel number 1016 300 026 also known as 7373 Nichols Road for noxious weed removal.
Support.
Any discussion on that?
Who did we get to do the removal?
Our new lawn service guy, Bert Swan.
Okay, any more discussion? A simple vote is fine, I think.
It would be, that's fine.
Yes.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Make the motion, we remove $138 annually from parcel 1031-577-183, also known as 206 West Lord Street in the Village of Gaines, for garbage pickup on a vacant lot.
Support.
Any discussion on that one? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Motion carried. Board of Review, training session, I guess what it amounts to.
Yes, at the December Board of Review, our Board of Review members indicated that they would be interested in attending the 2016 MTA's Board of Review class in Frankenmuth. The early bird rate is we have until January 12th to send that in. So that would be 3 members that would go February 16th to the Bavarian Inn in Frankenmuth at $81 each. So that equals a total of $243.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to send the Board of Review members, the 3 of them that are going to Frankenmuth on February 16th at $81 per person.
okay.
Support.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now the couple policies. Our body cameras and camera in the car need to be, their installation needs to be accompanied by a police department policy, which has been prepared and before you. I don't know if Mr. Gilmer or the police chief, either one, make any comments or an overview or whatever, doesn't matter.
Okay. This is a pretty straightforward policy, adopted by most agencies. We need it for 2 reasons. One, we have to have a policy in place for normal operations procedures and how we'll go about conducting business. The second reason is the grant was provided by the Power Plan, which is our insurance company, and they require a policy to be on file as part of the Power Plan risk management. So that was why that was part of why that was developed.
This is standard wording that is being used by different municipalities.
Yes. I'm not, I patterned it after, actually kind of cannibalized it from a number of different sources that had already adopted policies, so there is no one particular source.
Right.
How long are those maintained after they're used?
Well, there's different time lengths listed in there.
Just depending upon what.
Depending on what it is. Some things will be kept a very short period of time, and some things will be transferred to a disk where they will be kept forever.
Usually 30 days. Unless there's a problem or something.
Does this just get added to your policy book?
Just gets added to the police department policy manual.
I'll make a motion that we make this addition to the police policy manual pertaining to the wearing of body cameras and the retention of the records.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion on it? Hearing none. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Policy is adopted. The next one is a Gaines Township Police, unbiased policing policy. Much shorter, page and a half, so, either one.
It's pretty much everything that we do now. Mr. Gilner did not prepare this. This is prepared by the Department of Justice. It is what they would like all of the police departments across the nation to adopt. Basically, it keeps us from discriminating race, creed, religion in investigating a complaint. It basically is what we do already. It just spells it out, it puts it on record, and it will be part of the requirements for federal grants through Homeland Security and everything else through the future. You'll have to have one on file stating that you will not discriminate. Same as what we do with some of the other things in the grants we write, things we've had to adopt in the past. But basically, this is for fair and equitable policing, no discrimination.
Were we following some type of procedure previously?
There was nothing in writing saying that we had to do anything. It's just basically what we do. But it puts it in writing, and it holds you to those standards.
I'll make the motion we accept the Gaines Township Police unbiased policing policy document as presented.
Support.
Any questions, comments, or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we need to set a hearing date for Oakwood Village Special Assessment District. I'd like to do it this month, probably the end of the month. The last week of December, we got the last batch of bills. We're pretty sure there's not any more outstanding. So the opportune time would be, I said it would be as soon as possible, and this is as soon as it can be. We got the last batch just a few days before Christmas, so. Anybody got
How much time do we need to set this?
I think we need at least 15 days.
Yeah, at least 15 days. So that's why I was thinking the last week would probably be best. Whatever days are good for anybody the last week of the 25th.
Well, the last Wednesday is
27, so.
15 days out, isn't it? My math is wrong. Be 21 days.
Does it have to be business days or just 15 days?
15 days.
Yeah, that's good. We got-
Is that?
Because we gotta give us a little time to get the notices together, to get them mailed and
17.
stuff.
yeah,
6
so
days over.
Put together a letter and that stuff.
Right, we gotta put together a letter.
Is that a 7 o'clock event
I think so.
last Wednesday? Does that coincide with any other meetings, like
You guys don't meet on
zoning
Wednesdays, so
board, nobody on planning commissions this month?
you won't meet till February, so.
Right.
Appeals board's next week, and then planning commission after next month.
You think we can do it that time? That's fine with me.
So,
Yeah,
but just,
I feel good with 27, 28,
27?
whatever you wanna do down there. Wanna do Wednesday the 27th?
it seems to be kind of what people expect on their Wednesday meetings, I guess that's why I said that. Well, it's not too tight.
Is that right with everybody else? Any conflicts or anything, anybody know about?
You know, when's Metro Alliance meet? 20th,
Next week.
that's the 20th.
Yeah, that's
That's
the third
not
week
the
or
right-
something.
yeah, okay.
That's gonna be on the 20th.
Yep,
And
seems pretty clear.
Um,
I'll make the motion, we schedule the special assessment public hearing for the Oakwood improvement for January the 27th at 7 o'clock. Is that specific enough?
do I hear support?
Support.
Any discussion on it?
this is for the people that are living in Oakwood,
That are in the
special
District.
assessment district,
SAD,
to come to this meeting and voice their yay or nay in regards to the,
not necessarily.
That's information.
It's a,
okay, what is it for?
It's a required public hearing, for the, cost of the special assessment district, for the cost of the project. Because obviously it's different than what it was set up for.
So, will they have an opportunity, will the people have an opportunity at this meeting or at future meetings to voice a concern in regards to,
This is what the hearing is,
this is what it's for?
this is what it's for.
I think we should be telling the people this.
They'll get a
They will
letter.
get a letter?
That'll be part of the letter.
Okay. So that goes to the whole district then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do we need any stamps for this?
200 and something. Anything you want to add to that, Mike, or not?
No, I don't think so, except to say, just to address that specific concern, there's, the statute requires a notice be sent. The statute dictates what that notice must read, and it essentially tells everyone, if you wish to be heard on these things, show up or write a letter. So it'll be very specific.
Good, thank you.
All right. There's a motion. Yep. Any other discussion on it? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Guess we went through the agenda.
Quickly.
Audience comments. Let's go with you this time.
You're looking better.
Shirley Bitsley, Oakwood Village. When you write this letter, are you gonna let us know what we owe, how much the project costs, what you're paying, what we're paying, interest rate? Because Supervisor Melky said we had an interest rate of 1.5 to 2% for this project. Is all of that gonna be in the letter?
I don't know if it all.
I mean, how specific?
I don't know, I don't think it'll all be in there, but it'll be part of the presentation at the time. I anticipate it being, everything will be in context, I guess is the best way of putting it, and,
Hopefully it'll all be set and it'll be in writing, and yes, the residents will be able to see what they're being charged.
where we were and where we are and how we got there, I guess the bulk of it is the shortest way I can say it.
Okay. And the interest rate, would that be included?
It's 1.5.
1.5, thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
In lieu of getting up and walking up here because I got a bad hip, I'd just like to see if we can't be supplied with copies of the treasurer's report that the board members all get, just like the paperwork we're supplied with at the start of the meetings on a monthly basis. So when you're going over and viewing that report, I can also, and other audience members or other citizens can look at that as well, if that's a possibility. And you must forgive me that I wanted to start off tonight by wishing you guys a happy new year and a prosperous one. That's it.
Okay. Anybody else?
Heather Deal, Gaines Township. I guess I wasn't gonna say this, but I feel like it's important, so I would like to speak about the many times that I've either witnessed or experienced when public questions are ignored. And I have to concur with Mr. Kadish or any others on this, and I can understand the frustration. And under public comments, it's my understanding that a resident can speak on any topic. Doesn't necessarily have to be anything on the agenda, but it can be on any topic, is my understanding. As long as it's in the allotted time. It appears when a resident speaks on a topic of disapproval or has a question that the supervisor does not want to answer or address, it is ignored. While on the other hand, I have witnessed that some residents are in fact given a response. Just got done witnessing it just now. And it seems to me there is picking and choosing going on, and I think the double standard is very unfair. And now I know what the other side of the argument's gonna be, and I'm not impressed. And the other side of that argument is that officials don't have to answer questions. And while that may be legal and true, it does not mean this board should practice it. In fact, I believe you would serve the public well to be a little more transparent and willing to address all residents' concerns, not just the ones that voted for you. And I would like to see improvement in this practice. And I do have to give Mr. Timmons, Trustee Timmons, credit, where he has responded to residents when the chairman or the supervisor / chairman remains silent. My question is, what are the rest of you doing about this? Which one of you are willing to lay on the table a code of ethics and get that passed? And this is the second time, and I don't remember when the last last time was, maybe last year at some point, that I have expressed a concern about this. So it's on the record, and I guess it's gonna be on the record the second time. And it is unethical, and it should stop, along with the other bullying tactics, which I'm not gonna go into that because all of you know what I'm talking about. And improvements in these areas would be appreciated. You have the opportunity to put this into practice, so I will wait for your response. Thank you.
Anybody else? Seeing no hands. Move to board comments. Anybody?
Mr. Fortino,
Yes, Mr. Timmons?
I had a request last month to get a disc. I wasn't aware that I had to pay for it. I'm just wondering why we have to pay for that.
The disc cost is $1, and that's what the cost to anybody that requests information on a disc is charged.
I can bring my own disc. Would that be reasonable?
I suppose, I don't know. Don't think we really got a policy, I guess. I guess it could be.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, I guess I've got a couple things. At the time the assessor was hired, it was explained in detail why and how and who. And it was a bid process, and it was all explained at the time of the hiring.
Is there a record of that?
At a public meeting. In regards.
Could you give me the date and time of that meeting, please?
In regard, this is not public comment.
I'll do it in 30 days, I'll ask for it then.
In regards to the failed culvert at Reed Road, I don't believe anybody on this board has control over when a culvert fails. The assertion that the tile that was replaced drains a farm to the south of Reed Road is incorrect, because the water does not flow from the south to the north, it flows the other way. So that drain puts water into that field, not takes it out. I guess that's about all I want to say right now as far as comments go.
I got video of it if you care to look at it.
Anybody else?
No.
Oh, wait a second, there's one more thing. Zoning ordinance changes can be initiated from the board to the planning commission, from the planning commission to the board. In the case of what we're talking about, an ordinance update, the planning commission will start the process and it will end at the township board. So it can start in either direction.
I appreciate the clarification, thank you.
And I guess I do have a comment. Regarding medical marijuana and the insinuation that the township is interested in to make money off of this, probably obscene. The concern with everyone on the board and the police department and the planning commission is that it needs to be something that's regulated before it hits the township.
Agreed?
So there is a certain degree of urgency there. there certainly is no benefit to this board in any possible light of having medical marijuana or anything related to it in this township.
Revenue?
No, it's a headache. No.
Tax-based business.
If you see benefit to that, then you're looking at it from a completely.
Well, I know somebody that has a dispensary in the city of Flint, and they pay an outrageous amount of money. It's not for you to
Point
tell
of
me I'm
order,
out of
sir.
order.
I've been
Sir,
listening to
it's
your mouth
not
all
for you
night.
to
Hold
tell
it
me
and
I
shut
am
your
out of
mouth.
order. Don't tell me to
No,
shut
I'm
my
telling
mouth,
you,
sir.
I'm telling you.
You ain't
I'm
nothing
tired
to
of-
me.
Don't tell me what I am.
You heard me. You started it.
Both of you stop. You're both out of order, please. To Mr. Purdy, as you well know, this township board's operating millage is .85. It is minuscule compared to your tax bill.
Right.
Probably the average person sitting in this room, operating millage that's paid to this township under operating millage is probably somewhere between $55 and $95. That's it,
Per year.
per year. That doesn't even cover the light bill, you know, or the
Right.
fire department, or
Right.
whatever. Probably the fire department, that's about it. Okay, anything else? Hearing none. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn this one.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're stand adjourned, and once again, I thank you all for your patience. See you next month.
Yeah, yeah. I was minding my own business.